Hey,
Hello.
hey, Jen. Welcome everybody to another episode of I Must Ask You a Question with Jen and James. And we were just talking before we went live, and we're both prepping for New York Comic Con, which looks like we're leaving tomorrow. Jen's leaving super, super early.
Yeah.
So what are you bringing? Are you bringing basically an empty suitcase to bring a bounty full of awesome exclusives back?
Definitely bringing an empty suitcase and planning on, for as many, publishers that will allow me, I'll probably pick up massive amounts of exclusives that they'll let me do. And I usually just ship those straight out of the Javits from the FedEx upstairs.
Oh, nice. Well, you know a guy, and we have, you know how many exclusives we have? We haven't fully announced it yet. We're announcing it on Thursday, but we have 13 different exclusives.
Oh, wow. Put me down for them all.
This year we're going very big, and we're not the only ones going big. I see like Marvel and DC and Dark Horse and some of the bigger companies aren't showing up. So smaller press like Scout, like Behemoth, like Source Point, it's kind of our opportunity to really kind of jump in. Of course, safety. I mean, Javits is taking incredible measures. I mean, have you filled out the app that you had to do with the vaccination cards and everything? Have you done that yet?
No, it's just, do you just download the app and fill that stuff in?
Yeah, you have to take pictures of your ID. You have to take pictures of your, let them know what vaccination that you got, whether it's the Pfizer, the Moderna, or the J&J.
We have to claim our clan publicly?
Yes,
what?
you do. And then you have to, they create like this QR code. But I'm just going to give you a warning. They want you to match your face. And when you're doing it, you're not thinking they're going to take a picture, and that's what's going to be what's going to be used the whole weekend. So it's so funny. I was talking with Richard Rivera, and he did his too. Yeah, mine's like just like a dumb face inside of it. So just a little pre-warning when you have to do it. But yeah, everyone has to do it. You can't we have like a massive group coming. I think there's like 14 people, different creators and whatnot. And each one of them has to do it. You can't just, like in years past, we could just hand them the pass and that'd be it. It was very simple. Logistically, it's going to be very, very interesting. That's for sure. It's kind of crazy too. Do you know it opens at 10 a.m. tomorrow? The con? 10 a.m. on Thursday seems kind of insane, but it is New York City, right?
I was completely unaware.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't open until I arrive on Friday. I'm sorry.
Yes, so you're coming Friday.
Yeah, I'm flying in Thursday, but that was all predicated on that my husband and I are going to have a day of vacation at the beginning because, we like each other and we want to continue to like each other. So we're going to go
very,
out
very
and see
smart.
town.
My wife's not coming on this one. She's a veterinarian, so she works a lot, and her days off we have to use them wisely because she only gets so many per year. So she's not going to this one. There is a chance, albeit a very small one, that I might be able to go to Saturday Night Live on Saturday night, like to actually see that. And that's totally like a bucket list kind of thing. I've always been a huge fan of Saturday Night Live, so I'm hoping that happens. I don't think it will though, but I'm have my fingers crossed. But we have a lot of stuff scheduled. So much stuff. It's great. It's fun.
How many panels?
What was that?
How many panels do you have lined up?
Actually, I don't think we're doing panels this year, surprisingly.
Oh, okay.
At least that I don't know. I wouldn't mind, so if they say, hey, we had you signed up and no one knew. But we've been so focused on booth design, it's been crazy. We went, I think I told on another episode that we had that we went pretty big this year. We got an island compared to a booth. So it was a big expense. That's kind of why we're doing so many exclusives too. And Don Hanfield, one of our partners, has just done an amazing job of getting it all lined up, man.
I've actually heard from people that are there that are like setting up that it's epic.
Yeah. What, our booth or
Yes.
just in general? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've had some Don sent me a few pictures, which has been pretty cool. Just seeing what it is, and it's like, wow. And a lot of this stuff is reusable. The backdrop is like this lit up, it's called like pixel or something. But people don't understand what actually goes into doing these booths. Like it's unbelievable. So like the time and the organization and the in and the out is just, it's wild. It's wild, but I kind of get to, as Don puts it, rock star it, where I get to come in after and I leave before. So usually that's not the case. Usually I'm kind of spearheading that, getting things there and whatnot. But yeah,
I'm a
looking
weird person. For my booths at cons, I like to be the first one in. I like to design it. I like to be the person that's like zip tying the grid wall together. And I like being the person that tears it down and making sure everything goes in the right box. I don't know.
I think I've been burnt out on that, doing so many shows for so many years. Like I just, time is such of essence right now, like running multiple businesses at the same time and having a family. And it's kind of, I don't know, MegaCon was a good test. And I was, even though there was like, what, a year and a half since we had a show last, like it still felt the burnout of it. But New York, as you know, New York and San Diego are two completely different animals, and exciting. It's fun. Like I'm going to be able to walk around, get some exclusives. I saw this I'm a diehard Moon Knight fan, and I really love John Tyler Christopher's negative covers. And apparently there's a Moon Knight version, which I'm salivating over. I need to get that. But we have some really cool ones. I'm doing one for my, kind of break the news here. Third Wave 99. We're doing a Virgin variant, kind of like that's been our theme, is Virgin variants, kind of early releases of some titles, and we're doing one that we have, and I set up a couple signing times, and we announced Eternus. I'm not sure if you saw that, the book that Don and a few people, with Andy Serkis. It's going to be such a big book, and it's exciting. I've seen the art. Cara Moline, who's done Buffy, and he lives here in Florida, and actually Don and him went to the same high school, believe it or not, just kind of a small world. And that cover, Rob Pryor, who does the cover, is just incredible. And you know what he's going to be doing, Jen? He's going to be painting live for a couple hours every day at the booth.
Oh, yeah, that.
It's gorgeous. And it's a wraparound cover. So if you extend it, it wraps out. And Rob is selling prints of that cover that he'll sign. But these are these very high-end prints, which will be at the booth. And we're also through Trinity Comics, I think Trinity Comics Convention Services. A friend of mine, Matt Saltzman, who I went to high school with, again, small world. He's going to be doing some autographs where you can get, through Matt's group, you can get that signed by Andy Serkis and director Andrew Levitas. Graded and all that fun stuff. So that's one of our exclusives. And we're also offering a metal version of it. This beautiful metal cover. So that'll be there. We have a few there. They're actually online right now. We did a little pre-order. We set some aside for pre-order with a big announcement. And we're having tomorrow, actually, is it today? No, tomorrow is starting the huge announcements where we're going to be announcing a new series that's pretty huge. And we're doing a secret variant. So stay tuned for that. That has to do with, if you're in New York City area, there's a couple cool things that you can do by visiting your local comic shops. And if you go there, and it's almost like a scavenger hunt. So you'll see, it's pretty cool. We'll be sharing it. If you guys aren't ready, join our newsletter list, but it's a way to support those local comic shops in the New York City area. And then we're announcing a new imprint and on Friday, and it's pretty exciting. It's something that's been in the works for a long time, and once you hear who's behind it and what's going on, I think it's going to make some pretty big waves. And our founders and CEO, Brendan Deneen, he actually is releasing 2 ash cans this year for 2 of his books. Another little bit of a spoiler alert. And it's been a while since he's done anything Scout related as far as creator owned. He's been doing, Night Night Baby Groot, those children's books with Marvel. He did a YA Green Arrow series with DC, and he also, which is crazy, he did a prose novel about Morbius. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yes, it comes out. I know it's available for pre-order now, but he wrote a prose novel. I guess it's going to come out right when the movie comes out. But Brendan's, another really cool, interesting fact about Brendan is that he was the editor on all those Walking Dead novels when he was at Macmillan.
Oh, like the governor.
Yep. And he was a big reason why they actually went with Macmillan, Kirkman and such. And that was before, Walking Dead became the behemoth Goliath that it is today.
Oh yeah.
So he has he's an accomplished author. If you haven't had a chance, that might be I should have sent you one. The Chrysalis, which is his horror novel that he wrote. It's fantastic. I've been begging him. I want to create a hashtag, Chrysalis comic, because I'm like, dude, make this a comic. It's like this awesome horror story, and he's thinking about it, but I'm trying to make him do it. So if you haven't, and you guys are fans of regular books, The Chrysalis by Brendan Deneen is fantastic. Check it out. It's at your local bookstore and Barnes and Noble and all that.
You have to hunt it down. I love books.
Harass him like I do about creating a new comic with Chrysalis.
I swear that people, when I walk up to their booths at cons, are like, I'm pretty sure Jen's going to ask me about. Because I am that person. I'm like, are you doing the thing? Please tell me you're doing the thing.
Are you? That's funny. There's so much stuff going on. I mean, I'm excited. I'm very excited about going there. I'm just so exhausted. It's been so. Yesterday, I must have done something right in another world or another time. So, my buddy, who I play softball with, he's our electrician, and we needed some plugs that weren't working at the new HQ fixed. So I met him last night at the new HQ, and I'm still currently I'm at the old HQ because we're keeping it. We call it HQ South and HQ North because they're on the same road, and just obviously one's north, one's south. And I haven't moved my office over to the new one yet, so I was here all day yesterday doing meetings for my other job, and I was just gonna go home because I was just exhausted. But my buddy's like, "Hey, I'm coming off after work. Meet me over. I'm going to fix those plugs for you." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, dude. Absolutely." So around 6:30, I went over there. Well, in the process of going over there, we look up, the ceiling tiles are leaking. We're like, what's going on? We have a drop ceiling. Yeah, it got worse and then worse and then worse. So we have 4 huge garbage cans filling up with water. Apparently a water line broke upstairs.
Well, it's good you were there. Imagine if you weren't there to catch it.
So it was a pain. I was there kind of late, and it turns out there was an Allstate above us, and they left, and the toilet line just kind of snapped, and there was 4 inches of water. And if that went where we wouldn't have seen it until 8 or 9 this morning, it would have been devastating. I mean, still it stinks now. They're gonna have to get mold removal people out there and fans and new ceiling tiles. Luckily, it was in our mailroom, so it wasn't over any comics or in our warehouse area. Mm-hmm. It was about to get over some comics, but I mean, there's a lot of electrical stuff that was in that drop ceiling that was getting wet too. So we really, really dodged a bullet. I said, I wasn't planning on going over there, and myself and the warehouse manager and my buddy were there, and we're like, holy smokes.
Make sure they leave the ceiling open until it's completely dry. Yeah, all the wood's dried out.
And we got some, the landlord was actually really good about it. At first he wasn't. He kind of was snarky at me. He's like, I'm eating dinner. And I was like, well, I want to be eating dinner too, but the ceiling is leaking. So, but anyways, he got the people out there, thank goodness, that night. But yeah, they brought in some industrial fans that were supposed to be running. Mm-hmm. But wow, what a bullet dodge. What an absolute bullet dodge. That could have
imagine if that happened while you guys were gone, while everyone was gone.
I know. I just, last night I couldn't get over it. I was like, oh, just crazy.
Feels like Providence to me.
Yes. So 4 a.m. Anything exciting? We have actually a really big week this week as far as releases go.
Oh yeah.
And, that's my next thing to work on. I've been working on the retailer newsletter pretty much all morning, but we've had quite a big release. I know the new issue of By the Horns came out. Mm-hmm. We also had the new issue of Cherry Blackbird. It was a pretty huge week for us release wise.
I was excited. We got our exclusives in for Swamp Dogs. Just let me actually read Swamp Dogs.
Oh, it's great.
Oh my God, it's so pretty.
It's such a gorgeously done book.
Gorgeousness.
Yeah, we actually have the creators there. One of the writers, Jam Brand, he's going to be signing at the booth. So you should definitely get some stuff.
I should bring some.
We'll have some issue 1s, some regular ones, and some of the Ashcan preview, first apperances.
Got to ask him about how in the world does the middle story tie into the 2 other end stories?
Ooh, yeah, I want to be there when you ask him that. I don't know that either. Have you read Snatched by chance?
The mafia haircutting?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that so interesting concept? Just like the hair, the illegal hair trade. Like,
It's going to be real.
it is, yeah. Like it's so crazy, it's real. But that's what it is. Everybody who's listening, Snatched is like a like I don't know, a suspenseful thriller that has to do with like Jen said, the illegal hair industry, about people wanting special types of hair. It's really good. The second issue just hit the stands today, and Redshift is one of the most beautiful sci-fi books I've seen in a long time. It's so well done. Himkar, the writer, and Brett, the artist, is just incredible. And of course, Cherry Blackbird by my good friend Joe Schmalke. It's such a good book. I'm so glad it's getting the light of day. It's definitely not for the weak at heart, as in it's mature readers. And it just follows this rock star who sold her soul to the devil, and she's basically fighting back. It's just your like total awesome horror movie, like old school 70s style. And then By the Horns, which is like one of our perennial titles. It's just announced to be an ongoing, and it's by Marcuson and Jason. Jason Murr is the artist, and his art reminds me of J. Scott Campbell, to tell you the truth. Actually, more refined. It's just gorgeous. So we have that issue 6 of 8 that's coming out.
I think the last issue's excursus into the past.
Yes,
which we had never seen that heartbreak before, and that was a gut punch.
Oh, it was it's well done. And it's such a well done. And believe it or not, I'm just looking here and I didn't even know it. It shows you how busy I am. My remastered Solar Flare issue number 1, or volume number 1, came out today. Bookstores, and in it's a new printing where we use the original issue 1 cover, and yeah, that hit stands and Barnes and Nobles and Books A Millions around the globe as well. So that's pretty awesome. I should definitely probably post about that. It's great. Yeah, the bookstore market thing is really taking us to the next level. That's for sure.
Oh, and I love it because a lot of people see that as competition to comic book stores. I just see that as like the first hit of a drug.
Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good way to explain it. It's funny, but yeah, I mean, I look at it too. And if you look at most of our trades, we actually offer them to comic stores first, and then then do like Solar Flare. We long offered it before we actually released it with Simon and Schuster. And if you take a look at multiple ones, and part of that is just cash flow. That's the other thing. Back office look is that bookstore can absolutely make a company, but it can absolutely just devastate a company, because what people don't understand is when you're a publisher and you deal with bookstore distribution, it is returnable anytime, fully returnable. And when that happens, what do you do about that? It's just a whole nother animal. You have to prep for it. And they do things a little bit differently now than even 2 years ago with that returnability, as in they make you wait longer before they give payments. And I actually think it's a smarter idea, because if you're given money and then all of a sudden you just get like just inundated with chargebacks, like it's a lot of people, when they get that money, they spend it. If you don't have it, you can't spend it. And then when you get it, it's usually after that return window that a lot of the stores, like Amazon, has like a 45-day return.
Yeah.
Barnes and Noble does too. So it's up. So it's less likely to act as a publisher to get returns. So it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing stuff.
It serves its purpose too, right? It's the same reason why comic books publishers have been extending returnability to retailers, because it allows us to buy more, to have them on the rack to be seen, and takes away a little bit of the pain, but it still allows us to have the the buffer of knowing that if it just doesn't hit with our audiences, that we can send those back. Is essentially like sending them back and getting something else from your company that does it.
Yeah, I to me, returnability has always been like other than damages. There's nothing you can do when it's damaged, right? But like returnability seems like a failed marketing prospect. It's like you're planning to fail. And just my other line of work, we'd have wholesalers, what they call them, wholesalers. They'd come to my office and other brokers, stockbroker office, and like mutual funds and annuity companies and insurance companies, and they're like, hey, listen, you should sell my product to your client. Let's give you as many tools as possible to make that job easier for you to sell. And that's kind of how I've taken that same approach since kind of working, behind the scenes with Scout, is that coming up with clever sales ideas to me and marketing is a much better approach than the failed returnability, because returnability doesn't help the store, it doesn't help the creator, and definitely doesn't help, the publisher. Really, the only person it's helped is the printer, because they won't take returnability, so they got their money, right? So having up like clever ideas, I think, is it's a better way. But yeah, I mean, sometimes things just don't hit, or it takes time. I think that's the better thing. I think no one wants to publish something thinking that it's not going to hit, but some hit early, some hit later. It just depends with, news and everything.
I actually like what you guys have decided to do with trade paperbacks. We were like, the price per book, you have shared with us the volume kind of discount.
Yeah.
Like, if you buy a full case, then you get a full case price, which allows me to buy, like I think of them now as evergreens. So I buy the full case and I have them laying flat on tables, and then everyone else sees them as evergreen. They'll pick them up.
That was actually Charlie Stickney's idea. He's like, why don't we do this? I'm like, what a great idea. And just when I do that retailer, like for example, in November, you're going to get it today, by the way, Jen, when you see it, is we have like 6 of them that are going to offer. So we offer 5, just again, some more behind the scenes for everybody who's listening, is we offer 5 packs, individual ones, 5 packs, 10 packs, and then a case, typically 26. To our retailer partners at, price breaks. And when we do that, I have to create each item.
Yeah, you do.
On Shopify to do it. And I have to do it. It takes me hours to do that retailer newsletter. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of crying the blues, but man, it's changed our business. Like that, who knew that this newsletter can generate so much revenue for the company? And really just
easy. You put in the links. You're like, hey, you should order your stuff. Boom.
I'm done. There you go. We just got ready for our retailers, and we give, even deeper discounts for some of our web stores and different exclusives. And this month, just to give you a little tease, since it's like basically Diamond is 3 months out, Lunar is 2 months out, and our direct to retail is 1 month out. So we're giving our retailer partners those options of what basically what 3 different options, where most people only have 1, maybe 2. And it gives you certain timing, the time frames of each. But Third Wave, we're doing, November and October. So my book Third Wave comes out next month, Third Wave 99. And if you order 25 copies, you get a glow in the dark incentive for free.
Woo!
And a free t-shirt. I'm throwing in like of my own budget of the new logo design that the original commission logo artist of that clothing company redid for this project that we're doing. And we released a whole, if everybody goes to thirdwave99.com, you can see the list of the new designs. We had 4 new designs. We've created high-end t-shirts. I've bought a lot of them myself. They're very, very comfortable, and we're kind of bringing back this popular surf brand. And
did you print any of the old retired styles?
Yeah, we have one retired one that we added, where we kept it exactly the same from what it was. Some of the other ones, he did it so long ago, the file format is all weird. He can recreate it, but just doing some of the new ones are really, really cool. You should. And the art, you've seen the art, right? I've shared it with you.
Of course.
Like Louis' art looks like Greg Land, in my opinion. He's got that realistic.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's so well done, and I can't wait to share with everybody. It's been a long time since I've actually had a new release of a comic, so I'm very, very stoked. It's going to be 4 issues, potentially leading into something else, but you'll have to check out by reading and seeing what it is. And right. Jen, any more updates on your little special project? Secret, wink, wink.
Matter of fact, I'm going to send you. I did all the suggestions and fixed that. And then I only got to add 1 more page because I was trying to do a really good job, not just making it look like I moved stuff around. So I'll send that to you right after this so you can see what I've got.
Yeah,
I really had the goal of finishing it before New York, but I was like, he's not going to be able to read it in New York anyway.
Well, I'll be able to read it I got some plane time, so. So yeah, send it to my way. I'll either, I don't know if I'll get to it tonight, but I'll definitely download it on the laptop to do on the plane. It's about a 3-hour flight from Fort Myers to JFK. And my buddy Joe told me, have you ever had, this is totally off topic, have you ever had soup dumplings?
Soup dumplings.
Yeah, apparently like it's these dumplings that they actually put soup in them and you bite into them and then soup comes out. Yeah,
Never, ever.
he told me that I need to check out this place by the Port Authority because he used to live there for a couple years, and he said you need to get soup dumplings. So my mission in NYC is soup dumplings. Like they sound delicious. I googled them. I'm like, man, those look amazing. Like, why
Sounds
have I
like
never heard of
witchcraft. How
these?
do you get it in there?
That's what I don't know. I don't care. It looks delicious. I'm excited about them. So yeah, soup dumplings is going to be on my list of things to get in New York City. But it's going to be great catching up with a lot of people I haven't seen in a long, long time. And then I think most of our partners are going to be there. I know Don will be in Brendan. So it'll be great to catch up with a lot of them. And I think we have a big news article without naming who, but I think that is being released tomorrow.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes, it'll be online version. Again, share some I'll share all these stuff on our social media channels, and we have our social media team, Joey and Ambrosia, who will gladly promote a lot of these New York exclusives and these big announcements that they have this week. But stay tuned for a huge Scout Week, that's for sure. I'm sure not just us, but a lot of companies have big announcements that we use this New York time to do some big stuff. So are you going to catch up with any of the other friends that you haven't seen in a while?
Oh, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. I'm trying to line up all of my sit down meals and all those kinds of things. I don't know if I've got very many official meetings. I usually have those at San Diego. I think people are a little out of practice.
No, that's usually, it's so funny in San Diego, just in years past, I barely step foot in the hall. It's always, we set up shop at a hotel and basically just meet with people after people. It's just this gauntlet of meetings, and it's really fun. That's what I mean. I'll always remember those meetings, and it's kind of helped us grow. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
But
all right, we're into our last 3 minutes, so yes. I have my question all lined up for you.
Oh, do you? Okay, shoot.
Okay, so we're about to go traveling.
Yeah.
Do you have any things that you always do when traveling, like things on the plane or things you bring or habits you've got in hotels?
A couple things, and then I would like to hear your answers too. I always bring too many comics that I think I'm going to read on the flight, but end up not reading. That's number one. I always bring the Surface laptop that I'm looking at. I try to, coincidentally, I get a lot of writing done when I'm on planes. So I'm going to try to, I got to button up the last act of issue 4 of Third Wave. I got to really land it. Because there's going to be a bit of an epilogue too. So it's going to be an extended ending. So I'm going to kind of edit and try to work on that. But really, I mean, I always bring this bag. This is like my go-to bag. This is one of those Jim Lee portfolio bags. Did you sell these or have these? I know he was offering them to shops, but I mean, these bags are awesome. Take a look. For those of you who unfortunately aren't watching, they have like these compartments in there. Yeah, like it's made for a comic collector. You can put stuff for your laptop. You can for graded books if you want to put them in there. It's fantastic. But when I go to New York, because you're walking a lot and there's so many people, I actually use another bag that's like a security bag because they have zippers here, and if people are behind you, they can actually, steal stuff. So I'm a little bit more secure in New York. I bring a different bag that's kind of flat. There's no zippers that you can just, while some people are behind you. So I'll bring that. And no, that's about it. My Ace hat. I mean, that always comes with me. What about you? What specialty do you have?
For me, I always arrive early to the airport because the thing that signals that I am on vacation or I'm traveling is I always stop by Starbucks, not for really coffee, but their really good oatmeal. And then I sit down and I'm like, okay, now I'm in a different headspace. I'm in travel headspace, kind of like it's the delineation between, work at store gen and going to be at convention gen or wherever else I'm going. And then my go-to bag for convention is I've had the exact same bag for I don't know how long. It's this huge leather bag that just happens to be the exact dimensions that I can put 9 of those portfolio boxes for comic books.
Yeah.
And it can fit in under the chair in front of me. on the plane, so I'm always in control of all my books. And it has one central zipper on the very top that goes under my arm. I always just have it on my arm, so it
Oh,
feels
nice.
secure.
That actually, I'm glad that you reminded me. I need to grab. I have a little portfolio thing that I need to grab and take with me. You know what else is really good? And I always forget. Well, I forget it every other time. Is those neck pillows? You know, the ones you
Oh,
put around
gotcha.
my neck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those things are great. And then you can just attach them to like this little hook,
Yeah.
and it just kind of dangles. So I need to bring one of those too, because yeah, it's going to be interesting. I've still so much to do. It's wild, but again, I'm sure we're gonna like. I can't wait to share with everybody all the different news. But by the next week's episode, we're both gonna have, knock
So
on wood, some good stories. Our New York stories that we'll share. We'll call it New York City Story Time with Jen and
yeah,
James.
I cannot wait.
But I will see you sometime on Friday. It
All
sounds
right,
perfect.
absolutely.
I hope you have a safe travels. And until next week, everybody, we hope you guys are safe. And we'll see you soon. So everybody take care.
Bye, y'all.